What's up, guys? It is Shane Scott back again with another video. In this one, I'll be giving my Deadpool 2 review. I went and saw it again over the weekend. I got all my thoughts composed, and I'm ready to talk about it with you guys. If you have not seen the movie, make sure you go do that because I will be giving away a few spoilers in this video, and I don't want to ruin all of that for you guys. But let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about Deadpool. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new. With that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Basically, how I'm breaking this review up is I'm talking about what I liked about the movie and what I didn't like. So, start off, I really enjoyed the movie overall. It was super fun. I enjoyed it more than the first one, I would say. The comedy is much better than the first one. What I loved about the comedy in the first movie is the fact that there were so many references, and I thought there were a lot in the first one. And Deadpool 2 just goes 3 steps higher than Deadpool 1 did with the comedy and all the references. There's a reference for just about everything. If you don't understand one reference, I guarantee a few minutes later you'll understand the next one. If it's not, your forte, there's Marvel references, there's DC references, comic book references, music, older movies, things like that. There's references, there's references, a few references I didn't understand. There's a few references the people I was watching it didn't understand, but there's also the ones that everyone understands. There's a reference for just about any genre, anybody watching that movie that everyone can enjoy. And for the most part, a lot of the references, the comedy, it hits. There's not too much, that's kind of like dull or like, cringy, anything like that. The comedy was really good in this movie, better than the first one easily, so that was really good. The action as well, just as good as the first movie, just classic Deadpool action, him being super witty, super violent as well. The scene that pops out is the opening scene where he's killing a bunch of the people. It's just super brutal, and it's just disgusting, but it works with Deadpool because, he's cracking all these jokes while it's going on. Like, you can't help but laugh. It's like, ooh, should I laugh? That guy just got decapitated, but it works and it's super fun. So that was awesome. The action was great. Another thing, Josh Brolin, he's done it again this year. He's on fire. Kills it as Cable, just as he did with Thanos. Cable was a great character in this movie. He was super fun. His powers were super cool, kind of just seeing him fight. His fight scenes were really cool. The one that sticks out to me, the prison fight scene with Deadpool, that was awesome. And his motives, because he's being the villain for the first half of the movie, his motives are very understandable. You see why he's doing it, you understand all that. And they really do a great job of portraying, Cable's character and his personality, things like that. They do a great job with Cable, so I'm glad about that. Brolin, shout out to you, my man. You're doing great. Another thing, Ryan Reynolds, of course, kills it as Deadpool. That's Deadpool. That is Wade Wilson. It's not much to say other than the fact that he's born to play Deadpool. He does great. Domino, for me, she was my favorite character in this movie. She stole the show. Her scenes were just so fun to watch. The first scene where you kind of finally start to see her superpowers after Deadpool has been bashing them the whole time, talking about how, luck isn't a superpower. You finally see her bouncing around, everything's landing perfectly so that she's able to get into the truck as easy as possible. And it's just super fun to watch. I love that they added her scene with Deadpool in the background talking about how luck isn't a superpower and how it's not cinematic, as this super cinematic slow motions going on. It looks cool. That was super fun. I enjoyed that scene a lot. And just Domino throughout the whole movie, she's just super fun. I loved her. She wasn't this crazy, like, complex character. She didn't get a whole lot of story or anything, but I love Domino. I don't know what it is, but I just really like Domino in this movie. She was great. Another thing, this movie was surprisingly heartwarming, just kind of like the first one was, how he talked about how it was a love story, how this one's a family movie, things like that. But it was a lot more heartwarming than the first one. The ending took me by surprise, honestly. I was just kind of like, wow. Like, this is sad, like, this is some, like, MCU, like, ending of Infinity War type stuff, but it was, it was a good story, and it made you happy, like, it was a really fun story, and you got attached to a lot of the characters, you got attached to the story, and it's just, yeah, overall, very, very heartwarming. Going back to the references, there's a lot of them, just those, great, work with the comedy well, all that was perfect. The X-Force, I was very excited about that, and, they delivered. The X-Force was very, very fun. I loved that scene a lot. I loved, all the characters in the X-Force, like, this whole movie with the new characters they introduced, they were great. You know, whether it was Cable, Domino, Peter. I'm gonna get to Peter later. I'm gonna talk about him last. But Peter, all the other new characters in the X Force, they were super fun. They were enjoyable characters. The X Force was just fun overall, very enjoyable, and I really like that. And another thing, the movie has a lot of cheesy moments, but it fits. You know, you can tell at points where the movie is trying to kind of speak on like topics such as um, like gender equality, things like that, and it comes across as super cheesy, but like it fits, you know, like the for example the scene where Negasonic talks about the X-Men and Deadpool corrects her, he's like, you guys are X people, and how he talks about how he's going to call the team the X-Force instead of the X-Men because that's sexist, and it's just it's super cheesy. The lines like it's super cheesy, but it's funny and it works. And it gets the point across, and it also, you know, makes you chuckle a little bit. So I really enjoyed that they do that. They get those points across, and it also works perfectly. So that was really enjoyable. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to talk about Peter now. Peter, along with Domino, stole the show. It's just so fun. Like, I don't know what it's just, I mean, I do know what it was. It's just the innocence of Peter with all the other superheroes. Just super fun. I really enjoyed Peter, and I like that a lot. You know, it's just hilarious. That was probably the funniest part of the movie for me, is just all of Peter's scenes. So I really enjoyed that. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. There's not a whole lot I have to complain about the movie. A lot of it is just kind of like super specific details. Nothing, like no gaping holes in it where I'm kind of like, oh, like come on, or anything like that. It's just few specific things every now and then. But the biggest problem is the beginning for me, maybe the first 30 minutes, I don't know. It just seemed very messy. You know, you get in and it's just right off the bat, it's super quick, and you're kind of trying to catch up to what's going on. Deadpool's decapitating people. You're like, okay, who are you killing? Why? What's going on? And it's very quick. It seems very messy. And the beginning of the movie, it kind of just felt like it really had no purpose for the most part until much later. Well, not much later, but until a little bit later on, it just kind of seemed kind of dull almost, and then it just kind of went from one thing to the next. But once the X-Force, well, I wouldn't say the X-Force, once the prison scene with Cable, once Cable kind of meets Deadpool, that's when the movie starts picking up, and from there it's great after that. The beginning is just the only thing I'm kind of iffy on. It just seemed, the tone and the pacing of it just seemed very messy, especially compared to the rest of the movie after it started off so fast and then it slowed down for a while up until the Thanos and Cable, not Thanos, that's a whole nother movie, the Deadpool and Cable fight. But that was another thing that this is very off topic, but I just wanted to bring this up. Watching this movie, when Cable would be talking, but you wouldn't be seeing him, like the camera was on Deadpool or something, it was just by habit, I was expecting Deadpool to refer to him as Thanos. He does that once in the movie, but I was like, that's Thanos. That's Thanos' voice. And I mean, obviously it's probably by the same actor, but it's just like it just threw me for a loop because of how much I've seen Infinity War a few times now. I'm just used to hearing that voice and associating with Thanos. So I thought that was kind of funny, but a little off topic. We're going to get back to the things I didn't like. But yeah, the beginning just kind of seemed out of place almost. It starts off very fast and then the movie slows down for a little bit. And then it kicks back up eventually, and from there on, it's great. You know, there's not any other pacing issues or anything like that I have with the movie. Obviously, some of the comedy in the movie isn't going to land for everyone. You know, if you're not a huge Marvel fan, some of the Marvel references aren't going to land. And that's understandable. Some of the comedy I didn't completely understand. Like, I would hear other people laugh, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't get that one. But that's not a huge complaint or anything. Obviously, that's with most movies, not all the comedy is going to land. But obviously, that's not, you know, a good thing about the movie. So that's why I put that in there. A lot of this is really nitpicky, things like that. The main villain in the movie, he's nothing too special, but the fact that, you know, Cable is the villain for the first half and they expanded him so well, it doesn't really take away from the final villain, the Juggernaut. He's, you know, he doesn't get any story or anything. He just kind of shows up, like he gets released. Nothing too special, but it was cool to see. And at least he finally looks good, other than that god-awful Juggernaut we got in The Last Stand. So he looks like the Juggernaut. His fight scenes were fun. You know, there's a few good jokes in there that Deadpool made towards him. And the fight scenes with the Juggernaut, they were great. You know, the CGI, Deadpool even points it out here. He says before Colossus and Juggernaut start to fight, here comes a massive CGI fight. So I like that. Some of the little jokes with the writing, how Deadpool calls it lazy. That was another thing I liked about the comedy. But yeah, Juggernaut, nothing too special. He's kind of just in there to be the villain, pretty much. But I enjoyed him. I enjoyed the Juggernaut. It's just not a super, I guess, memorable villain. He only gets a little bit of screen time, and then there's nothing story-wise about him. He's just kind of there to be the villain. Another thing, also very nitpicky. I'm really not a huge fan of Colossus. He just kind of annoys me. I mean, I know his whole motives are being a hero, no killing, things like that, always being the best hero you could possibly be. And I like how that's the complete opposite of Deadpool, how he's wanting Deadpool to be better and Deadpool just keeps going against him. So I like his and Deadpool's, kind of back and forth with each other, but just as a character, he just kind of annoys me. Like there's the scene in the beginning when Deadpool shoots one of the guys at the orphanage place because he realizes that they're abusing Russell, and Colossus just super pissed off, kind of slams Deadpool to the ground, just kind of, and obviously you understand Colossus's, reasoning for that. That bothered me a little bit, super nitpicky, because, not everyone is going to think that same thing. They're going to think, Colossus is right, and he is, I think he is, but that just annoys me. I don't know. I was like, it's kind of just like, let Deadpool do what he's doing, he's not a bad guy, but Colossus is super, stick to the hero outline. But that's okay. Another thing I really was kind of not disappointed, I just kind of upset that I didn't like is Dopinder's story. Because I really enjoyed Dopinder in the first movie. But, in this one, his whole story about wanting to become a hero so badly, and he's kind of bloodthirsty the whole movie, it just was weird to me. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of what they did with Dopinder. I mean, I wanted him, I liked his whole thing where he, I would have liked the whole being a hero thing, but just the way they did it and how he was so bloodthirsty, and it was just awkward, where he would make little jokes about bathing in Deadpool's enemy's blood. It's just kind of all right, Dopinder, you're starting to scare me a little bit. I'm getting a little worried. But that's pretty much all the complaints I have. I know they're super nitpicky. There's not a whole lot I have to say bad about this movie. I really enjoyed it. Overall, I'd probably give it 4 out of 5 stars. I just, I enjoyed it more than the first. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a great movie. And it's just super fun to watch. It's gonna definitely rewatchable. I'm gonna be able to rewatch this one a few times once it comes out on DVD, all that. Even before that, I might go see it in theaters again. Who knows? We'll figure something out. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Deadpool 2. I recommend, if you have not seen it yet, go check it out. Very good. Let me know down below if you have already seen it, what you guys thought about it. Let's go back and forth. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new. That is all. I will see you guys next time. Thank you.